It's become a regular scene during the dry season. Car parks at popular Darwin waterfront picnic spots dominated by camper vans. And it's the source of numerous complaints to Darwin City Council. In response, council inspectors have been fining tourists caught sleeping in their vehicles. And now the council is moving to crack down on visitors using public parks to do their washing during the day. But the issue of travellers using public spaces to camp free of charge has extended beyond the city limits down the Stewart Highway, and it's not just backpackers who are causing consternation.
I think people are just stingy. You know, people are just taking advantage of a weak link in the chain.
It's that time of year again. The grey nomads and other travellers are migrating to the territory to escape the southern winter.
Probably going to Litchfield National Park. Ewan said to go and have a look at the Bewley rock holes.
Lisa Cosson and Dave Hare from Victoria are treating their kids to a once-in-a-lifetime trip across the country, driving in a camper van from Darwin to Perth, stopping by the road along the way to keep their costs down.
We're not roughing it, let's face it. We've got a camper van with beds and showers and all that sort of stuff, but we're in a position where you can park here and we realise that, hey, we have to do the right thing by the environment. We're not going to leave our rubbish here, we're not going to make a mess, but the kids are sort of mixing it in the wild a bit more than they are in a caravan park.
They've spent the night at a popular roadside stop next to Coomalie Creek, about 80 kilometres south of Darwin. It's not a designated campground, but it's recommended in a national camping guide.
We will need to go into caravan parks, and that's fine, we understand that, but we only probably need to go in once every 3 days. So our mind is set on finding a few camps like this where you're not having to pay, and as I said, we have the independence to do our own thing and just enjoy a campfire rather than a barbecue.
People they're just using the so-called rest stop down the next to us, and they're not coming into the caravan park. And we're talking big rigs and all kinds of caravans, not just backpackers.
Good afternoon, Mr. Hughes.
Good day.
Mr. Hughes, how are you?
Good.
Laurie Hughes has been operating the Coomalie Caravan Park for a decade and says he's going to have to shut up shop if the number of travellers using rest stops as campsites continues to rise.
I'm going to have to close this business if it continues along that lines and go out and get some gainful employment somewhere else. But there's no toilet facilities there, and there's toilet paper, for a better word, there's crap everywhere.
It's a shame to see the way that the surrounding areas are being denigrated with rubbish and all sorts of human excreta lying around in these free parks, and it's disgraceful that it carries on without something being done about it, you know.
We allow 24-hour stopovers at the rest stops. The basis of that and the prime use of our rest areas is for fatigue management purposes.
The Territory Department of Transport is under pressure to balance attracting travellers and stopping people from abusing the policy allowing 24-hour stopovers in rest areas. Contractors are paid to keep the Coomalie Creek rest area clean, but now the department is considering using the Trespass Act on long-term campers.
We don't want to be going in with a heavy hand and applying too much enforcement on it, and it is a difficult situation for us to manage.
Darwin City Council, mate, I need a word, please.
It's also been a difficult situation for the Darwin City Council to manage.
By sleeping in your vehicle in the car park here like this, you're actually committing an offence.
3 days a week, council officers carry out early morning raids on people camping illegally at popular picnic areas including East Point and Mindle Beach, issuing $130 on-the-spot fines.
You have to leave immediately now?
You'll be leaving immediately.
So far this year, that's resulted in about 247 odd expiation notices or infringement notices being issued.
Don't do it again. Try and find yourself some better accommodation.
That is apparently having the effect of moving the campers on from the known camping sites. So when the inspectors visit those in the early hours of the morning, there are generally fewer campers there.
The public car parks at East Point are dominated by camper vans, prompting public complaints about the area being used as a daytime campsite. The council has abandoned plans to establish a free campsite to cater for backpackers and is now considering changing bylaws to fine people who use public areas to do their washing.
The council does want to be able to do that, to make those public places better presented, and because they're not set up as washing and clothes washing or dishwashing areas. They are public spaces for public use.
The council raids have forced campers to find other places to sleep, but many visitors are still choosing to avoid paying for the right to sleep in their vehicles.
Which I hope it will continue in Australia, to be a choice to stay over in a caravan park if it feels like that, or be able to stay here on a rest areas. I think the choice should always be there as a free country.